What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind when we rewind.
What is up, guys? Happy Labor Day. Listen, let's just go ahead and get into this. I know that this has been a few days since she made this announcement that she's canceled her album. She's going to be moving to a farm. She's sorry for everything. Listen, this saga, it's like I said, both of them have their issues, the both of them. But I still stand on the fact that I don't care if people are saying, people have to understand and realize and remember, he was just trying to defend his name because people were accusing him of doing stuff. He was the one that gave this thing legs, because unless you were in his chat or you watched the replay of his live video and you were watching the chat replay, and if you saw people in the chat session asking him what happened to Tamar, and I don't even know if that's true, if people were actually saying, you did something to her, what did you do to her? Like literally accusing him of stuff versus just asking, hey, what's going on with Tamar? She said she almost lost her life. She woke up in a pool of blood, and you were partying with her the night before, going into the early morning hours. So do you know what happened? I'm just I'm just saying, because I wasn't in the chat. I don't know. But even if people were in the chat, like I said, he could have chose to just ignore it. He chose to talk about it, and the way he talked about it, for the most part, was what most people had an issue with. It was the delivery, not the denial. So with that being said, Tamar, she has announced that she's canceled her album release, and she is sorry for everything. So this is from the Sandra Rose blog, and it says Tamar Braxton shelved her new EP after her, and she called it publicity stunt, backfired last week. In a bizarre post on Instagram, Tamar asked fans for prayers after she allegedly had a near-death experience. Tamar, 48, explained that she almost died after she was found in a pool of blood with a fractured nose, missing teeth, and loss of mobility. But skeptical fans immediately accused her of faking her injuries to promote her new EP and short film starring Mendices, her ex-husband Vincent Herbert, and vlogger Funky Dineva. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And then the Shade Room posted it, and she left a comment saying, y'all won. There's no more album, and I'm going to my farm, and you will never hear from me again. I'm sorry for everything. And I'm not laughing like it's funny, but this, honestly, I feel like, and not that I need validation, because it's not what it's about for me. I try my best to be on the side of right, and I'm always trying to be cautious when it comes to talking about mental health, because it's serious. But when I initially talked about this, when this first dropped, I said Tamar has a pattern of coming out to declare things or share things on social media, and then talk about her mental health and how she sees life now and moving forward. She's going to do things differently, see things differently, blah, blah, blah. Life is precious. Y'all pray for me. Pray my strength in the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise God. Whatever, right? But I've never really felt like she truly, really got the mental health help that she really needs, because I do believe that there are some real literal issues there, but I'm not diagnosing her. And I had people that were upset saying, you don't need to be diagnosing her. I never diagnosed her. But what I was saying was, I really felt like she was using mental health. And she's not the only one. There's a lot of people that use mental health as a cover and a block and a barricade to pretty much say, leave me alone, my mental health. And I'm just sick of people doing that, because mental health issues are real. And so when you have people that use it for a cover and a front, it bothers me. It does. But with that being said, She said she's moving to a farm and you'll never hear from her again. Do you believe that? I don't. I don't believe it. But again, this is what she said. She said she's canceled her album. I don't know who all was waiting for it. And I'm not even trying to be shady when it comes to that. But what I'm saying is, I truly believe that she really needs help. But I'm not going to give her all of the blame. I still stand on what I said with regards to Funky Dineva. And to go there, he posted when she was talking about the situation, a post on his Instagram saying, and this toothless Muppet is still bumping her gums. Literally. Shouldn't you be somewhere recovering or waiting on a blood transfusion since you almost died and woke up in a pool of blood? Listen, it might be funny to some people, and yeah, a lot of people are laughing, but this is someone who claimed that he was a friend to her. And this is what I want to talk about because somebody said this is the type of friend that's been waiting to fall out with you. Funky Ben wanted to say all this stuff. Somebody else said amazing. She was his friend just a few short days ago. She's. Somebody else said Team Funky. And somebody else said, ain't no way she was calling this man a friend. And somebody else said, he inserted himself. She never mentioned anyone's name. So is his conscience messing with him? And somebody else said she never said or alluded to who it was. And that's what I have been consistently saying. But let's just get off of that because, yeah, she shelved the EP for now. But she said she's going to be moving to her farm. And she is tired of these funky bunch holes, like Funky Dineva calls them. He said, y'all holes. If he can call them that, can't we? But anyway, yeah, she's tired of the funky bunch holes, and that whole Funky Dineva. Okay. So I wanted to talk about this, and I meant to talk about this a few days ago, but I'm just getting a chance to get into this. But Tamar Braxton's former assistant, one of her former assistants, he had some things to say about Funky Dineva. I'm going to share this with you guys. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this because I thought this was very interesting. His name is Letroy Davis. I will have the link to the full video in the description box.
Everybody, it is Letroy, and I'm here to do a video that is different than most of the videos that I do on my YouTube page. But there was some things or something that happened that I just thought was very ironic, and I wanted to just address it real quick. And just, Nicki Minaj said years ago that when you pick fights, you have to be careful because you never know. And so I just want to say this is not a video about Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton is a part of this story just because of the whole situation, but I wanted to call out some things that Funky the Diva said about me as it referenced me when Tamar and I had kind of a little situation about
He said Funky the Diva. He is far from that, but okay.
almost 2 years ago. And now he is, Cardi took your man upset about things that he's going through. So I just wanted to kind of break down some things that he said then and things that he said now.
But what we don't do as friends, and at least not the way I was brought up, is that when you get mad with your friend, then you want to start throwing stuff in their face and start talking about what you owe me and what you don't.
But now let's see what he says in 2025 about his situation.
And let's not get it twisted. Because see, now I'm finna tell it. Let me sit up. Now I'm finna tell it. My response was, I don't know what happened to the lady. All I know is the lady called me and asked me for Dr. Heavenly's phone number because she said 14 was missing. I don't know what happened to the lady.
Let me pause for a moment because I know he's about to get into it, but my response, your response to who? We go back. His response to people in his chat. Was that his response to a police interrogation? Was that response to Tamar Braxton's team? Was that his response to Tamar Braxton? No, that was his response to some funky bunch holes in his chat, or maybe possibly some team Tamartians or whatever that were in the chat because they saw that he was looking unhappy at the party with Tamar Braxton, okay, to ask him in the chat, do you know what happened to that lady? Didn't sound like someone said you did something to that lady. He took it that way. But let's continue.
And now, maybe I'm missing it, but back in 2003, didn't he say that he was not the type of person that goes online and tells their friends business? But to me, it sounds like he just did the total opposite. He went and told his friends business, right?
Now, what it's giving, if you read between the lines, is that Troy has been cut off and no longer has access to the camp.
I'm steady texting and calling different people in the crew. Nobody's answering the phone for me.
Oh my God, that is so shady. But yeah, so he was pretty much talking about Letroy previously, saying, well, it seems like Letroy got cut off from the camp. And now he plays the clip from present day where Funky says he was texting people on the team and nobody was responding to him. So pretty much he's saying, look, turnabout is fair play. You talked about me. Now you're in not maybe the same, but you're in a similar situation and predicament. And now you don't want anybody talking about you.
Couldn't make this up. So he said I was exiled from the island. Nobody was talking to me. That's what he said back in 2023. And now we're in 2025 and nobody's answering the phone for him.
Then last but not least, Troy got on the thing and said, I've been beat down for over a month straight, publicly and privately. And today just sent me over. Now that was sent on the whole while, the whole TikTok, the whole YouTube. Everybody is going, think pieces down to the ground. And let me explain to you why this moment
Again, I think it's Alanis Morissette that has a song that says, isn't it ironic?
Yes, she does. It's like raining on your wedding day.
So when I was talking about how I was getting beat down for months, he was making a mockery of me. Now he's talking about how the whole TikTok and how everybody on the internet got this to say about him, that to say about him. It's like, oh my God, these incidents kind of mirror. The fact is, I wasn't trying to play you. You got involved in a situation that was making your blogs about something that you had no idea about. And now you are on the same side that you were trying to shade.
And not only that, he involved himself in this stuff too. Yeah, he was so-called partying with Tamar, but if he left that where it was, then it wouldn't be as big as it is. He's the one that made it what it was. So he really involved himself even further in this situation, and it has the nerve and the audacity to talk about this Muppet ain't clear my name, so now I'm gonna drag her every time somebody send me something to show me, even if it just seems like she's insinuating anything about me. I'm gonna drag her and make $5,000 every time I talk about her. Okay.
But you know what else we want to know what sent you over, and we want to be sent over? The police report from where James went and filed charges on Krishan.
Well, since back in 2023, you were insinuating I was lying because you were asking for a police report of what happened, and that if there is no police report, I need to be as loud as I was about the police report. Well, non-existent police report, according to him. But look, guess what happened? Not only was there a police report, there was an arrest.
I just have an attitude in 2023 when grown ass fucking people, big grown ass people, get on the internet, especially people who have influence, and stir up all this fucking commotion, and there's no end result.
The hypocrisy. Oh my God. This is why Armand Wiggins said what he said about him, and he's not the only one. But he talks about grown ass people and getting on the internet. And you have influence because clearly he has influence. He has, almost 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, whether it's deserved or not. Hey, it's up to your opinion. But either way, I digress. Yeah, you've got influence because you have a big effing mouth and you have a lot of subscribers. And he was talking about that situation as if he had any involvement in it or if it was any of his business.
So he says that he has an attitude when grown ass people get on the internet and talk about stuff and start commotion for no reason. I'm gonna say that again. He said that he gets pissed off when people get on the internet and cause commotion for no reason. Isn't that what he does for, like, I guess a job, is get online and cause commotion for no reason?
I want y'all to name a world, name a universe, name a planet where people start accusing you of doing something nefarious to somebody, and you just sit back and you don't say anything.
All right, so now that we have broken down certain pieces of that, I'm just gonna leave with what I started with. When you pick fights, you have to be careful because you never know. And 2 years ago, when Funky the Diva was hooting and hollering about me on the internet, he probably never thought that 2 years later, he would be in the same predicament. And that is why I always tell people, when you pick fights, you have to be careful because you never know.
Exactly. And I just want to, stop it right there. I will put the full video link in the description box. And I'm actually going to give a shout out to Michelle A.T. Brown because I heard a clip of this on her YouTube video that she did, or her live that she did last week. I just am like, yeah, this is. And then what also was funny to me too is he calls him Funky the Diva. So he don't even really know who he is, Funky Dineva. But yeah, he's definitely a hypocrite, huge hypocrite. And it is funny when people can bring receipts to show the difference from when he was talking about somebody else versus present day when he's in a similar predicament and situation. But yeah, he wants all of the grace, all of the mercy, don't want nobody talking about him. Like he calls them think pieces. The reason he calls it that is because he's the one that does that. Like it's not just content for him, it's these think pieces because he really does believe that he is more intelligent than everyone else. And I talked about this before when I talked about the interview that he did with Carlos King, when Carlos King interviewed him, and I talked about his arrogance. I don't watch nobody else on YouTube. I mean, ain't nobody else worth watching. And hey, that could be anyone's opinion, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with that because there are millions of people on YouTube. Not everybody can watch everyone, even if they wanted to. But it's when you talk like that because he feels as if people are beneath him. Seriously. But you know what I find funny in that interview when he was saying, "Yeah, I don't watch anybody else on YouTube. I mean, ain't nobody else worth mentioning, and a lot of these people need to sit down somewhere." A lot of people feel that same way about him. Anybody can create a YouTube channel. Hell, anybody can create a YouTube channel. And these days, everybody got a podcast. People can do what they want to do. Whether they're successful at it or not is another story. But if somebody wants to do it just because they want to do it, who is he to tell somebody they need to go sit down somewhere? But what I found funny is he said, but one person that I'm going to mention that I feel like he's on the right track. He just has some growing to do and some maturing to do is Armand Wiggins. So when Armand Wiggins dragged him back then and then he dragged him recently saying that he's a joke, I find it funny because the one that he wanted to give this, I guess, fake flowers to would be Armand Wiggins, who don't have any respect for him. And then it makes me feel like, do you really have respect for him or do you just want to lay him down? I don't know, guys, but I really want to know what you think about this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.